Ladies and gentlemen, here we are with the world champion, Jimmy. Jimmy, tell them what they need to do on the YouTube.
What they need to do on YouTube, you need to follow the Happy Pill
Yeah.
and get free content from one of the best instructors in the world, Murder Mike Jaramillo.
Yeah. Well, tell them something about jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu is a sport that is like chess with the human body. It gives you a full body workout and the strength. You don't even have to work out strength either. So it gives you flexibility, problem solving. It's mental and physical. It's the greatest sport in the world.
Oh yeah, no meatheads allowed. Be like Jimmy. Like, share, subscribe.
Drag. Okay, there's a couple of things I want to ask this guy to do. Okay, and there's a reason for it. There's certain things that are triggers for you to react to. Okay, this is what I mean by it. The guy's put his hands like this, and we're like this. Okay, I'll see this, and I'll usually nod my head and go, "Ugh," because the hands will be here, and they'll go like this. Like, the hands were here. Let's grab the hands, okay? So those are triggers. We don't want to grab the hands when they're up here, they're down here. They're right there in front, okay? So I'm going to tell you, your partner is going to put his hands right there. There's something else that I don't want. I don't want you, because this is the end goal. I'm going to try to push his hand down. I'm trying to throw my hand through. I'm going to try to reach behind his back, grab this lat, pick him up in the air like this, lift him on top, and then dump him over and come up, okay? But within that, there's like all these little minor things that I have to pay attention to, okay? So I'm going to task this partner to keep his hands here, because that's where they should be, okay? He's trying to grab my hands, I'm trying to grab his hands, okay? Now, I told you there's a couple of things. I want to be on top of his hands, okay? I do not want to grab his wrist. If I grab his wrist, it's an easy break. All he has got to do is put his elbow to my elbow, and I can't hold the grip. If I grab his hands and he puts his elbow, there's articulation within this wrist, so I can control the hand. So I don't want to grab his wrist. The next thing I don't want to do is I don't want this partner to feed me the grip. His hands are here. So sometimes what I see is, and I made fun of some people the other day where I go, are you here to do abdominal exercises or something? Like, understand, like, I got to train my mind to react a certain way in a certain situation. Something has triggered it. I'm going. In the beginning, I train my mind before my body reacts, right? So his hands are like this. So I told you I want to push them down for a reason. I want to push them down. I don't want to grab them like this, because in a rowing set, his strongest position is this position to rip this back. I want to alter the mechanics of what is pulling. So if I can push this down when he pulls back, there is no pull back. I altered the mechanics of how his body's going to pull the arm back. So I would love to push it down, okay? So I'm trying my best. He's got his hands here. I'm trying to take his hand and push it down. The moment I push down, I'm going to rocket one hand through this pocket, okay? There's a couple of things within that matter. I want some form of connection below. Preferably right now, what we're going to do is there's two ways to grip this. I can grip his kneecap with one, with both my insteps, or right now we're going to do butterflies. Something is critical within this that matters, okay? When this hand shoots through, I should be able to, almost like a camera crew, when they put those rails down, when they slide the camera back and forth, off of those insteps, I should be able to rock it in and out at any point, connected to him. There's a reason for that also, because in case he swivels his hips, I want to feel this connection and ride those connections so his hips don't dislodge my butterflies, okay? So this rail system that we talked about goes hand in hand with this. So as if I'm pushing this hand down and his hands were here, my rail system shoots forward for me to make a connection. Next thing is, I'm not looking to grab your wrist. I don't know what I'm going to find in the pocket when I shoot through. I'm looking to shoot this hand through, and what they call is false gripping. I'm making a fish hook so that when I come back, I'm not looking to grab this, because if I had a focus on grabbing that, a lot of times I'll lose it. But if I had a focus of just throwing this hand through, and now let's just talk about one thing. If for any reason something went wrong, remember the rail system that he flared or anything, I can come out of that pocket in 2 seconds. All right, so if in case I miss something, I'm good to go and get out of there just as fast. Now I shot through. Overshoot your throw, because as I overthrow in this fish hook, I want to be able to have some momentum that I'm almost hitting somebody in the back with this elbow, that when I hit it, I want him coming forward, because my next goal is, at this point, is to reach and grab this lat muscle here. So when you shoot this guy through, look at the distance. It's about 5 or 6 inches. So I'm going to pull you hard. So when I bring this back hard, this is what happens. But if I had this goal of just grabbing on here, there's not the same fish hooking power that I'm going to hit him back. And most likely I'm going to lose that grip because I had the focus of grabbing it. I don't want that. So shoot it long and fish hook it, okay? And if you understand the rail system coming in and out, there's no danger, because if I lost the instep, I know it because I had a connection to it. Now when you come through, okay, let's talk about what he wants to do at this point. If I'm short, his recovery is at this point is to reset this head and bring it to this side of the spinal cord. That's why I would love to be able to grab onto this lat, because I don't want this head to reset. We're not going through recoveries right now, but that's why I'm reaching for his lat. So I'm going to ask you not to reach for his backside. That doesn't help me in no gi. In gi, you can cheat a little bit because I can grab the belt. This is no gi. So I don't want to lose the position where he could possibly reset his head to this side. So I reach for his lat right away. Okay, once we are here, okay, he's fighting and everything he can to get away from me. At this point, I know what your goal is. I'm going to ask you to dump him over, and I'm going to ask you to finish one little detail. But at this point, when I first came into the pocket, I brought that rail system in, I did everything right. I shot this in, I came in tight, and I'm coming back hard, and he's coming down with me. And now I'm reaching with this hand to grab his lat, and I got his lat. At this point, this man's not going to cooperate. He's going to try to run away from me. So I want to go supine at this point and slide myself underneath. I'm not worried about dumping him. I know what the end product is. The end product is this. I bring him through, I ratchet his lat muscle, and then I dump him over, and I come over, and now I'm behind him like this, right? But let's talk about this at this point. He's trying his best to get away from me. So I only cared about one thing. The end product is the reversal, but I want to get under him, okay? So when eighth is like this, I'm here and I'm reaching, and he's trying to back out on me, okay? I need you, remember that rail system, I'm gonna slide my glutes underneath here, meaning this. I'm gonna imagine he's pulling away from me, so I can't dump him over because he's backing out, he's too far away this way. So I take my body line, and remember that rail system, I'm gonna go underneath him, and now I have him on top of me. Now Ethan is light as a feather. Now when I dump him, I'm never going to relinquish the back of this tricep. Later on in our second move, you'll see it matters. So when I dump him, stay behind the tricep line. Obviously, I'm going to come here, I'm going to slide him up, and now we're here. When I dump, as I come over, I drop behind his tricep because I don't want him to come back on me. And now he's going to do this. He's going to slide this hand here, and now I can't go left or right, and he's trying his best with this hand to separate this hip line or separate me from this leg to take this leg on me. So I'm on this drop, I'm like this. I'm never letting go position. When you make the transfer to make his back, I don't need you driving up. We landed here, I keep stability and position behind this deltoid line the whole time. I'm like this. I take my hand, I slide it up. I'm never at any point, whether you need this as a basing hand or a gripping hand, at no point does there ever become a disconnection behind the deltoid line. This leg slides up, I'm still nice and tight and low. I've never let the back of that shoulder line relinquish position. Now I get in my gift wrap, I can bring this back, I can finish from the top, I can throw this over, isolate the arm, I can go in a lot of different positions. Let's go back one more time. So, a couple of points again. His hands are here. Please do not let him feed him. There have to be triggers that remind you, hands are there, I grip in hands, grip in hands, we're hand fighting. I bring this thing down, what did I say? Rail system, right? As soon as I bring this thing down, rail system comes through. I overreach, I'm coming back with a fish hook, I'm coming back, I'm gonna play hard. As I come back, he's here popping. I don't want this head to reset, so my grip is here, so I'm super tight behind the deltoid line. I'm not relinquishing position behind the deltoid, I own it now. I'm nice and tight, pulling this in, head can't reset. What did we say now? We're on that rail system. I want to slide in underneath him. He's going to be backing out, so I don't care about the end product of the reversal. At this point, I slide myself underneath. Now I'm under. Now he's light as a feather. We lift one leg and we dump. When we dump, we don't relinquish the position behind the deltoid line again. As I'm coming over, we're coming up, I'm tight behind the deltoid line. I can switch my position in my hands. I never relinquish position. Whether my hands are here, on a gift wrap, doesn't make a difference. I do not relinquish this position. I slide my left leg through, I'm behind him. Now we can take this gift wrap, bring it back, and we're good to go. Let's part of it. You can't get around that turn. And his hand's stuck in the middle. And before, we were like this, right? We had cleared this elbow past this line. A couple of different ways we can deal with this. That hand got stuck in the middle. Let's change the grip. So I'm going to keep Ethan up for a second. The hand was here, and now for whatever reason, he's trying his best to reset the head, right? That's what he's trying to do. And the hand, he realizes he's trying his best not to let this elbow clear, right? So instead of us doing what we just did at this point to reach here, let's change our grip. So instead, this hand's going to drop and go deep and hug this arm, because now this hand that was the one holding the elbow is going to grab the head, because now I've taken this arm away totally. So now when I go grab the head, I go the same thing. I'm underneath, boom, we come over on a full mount. Only thing different is you're not going to get behind the tricep. You're going to dismount to this side, now start attacking him because my arm is stuck. So I'm going to dismount to the same side and bring him back. You can go all different ways on this, right? So let's go back again, right? So he counters too. He's trying his best to reset his head, and I'm going, damn, he's got his hand between my legs, and he's trying my best not to let me get around the turn. He's trying to reset his head to the other side. And I'm going, shit, man, I can't get out of here. So we switch our grip. We're like this. I push this down. I go deep, and I go, boom. And now he's doing his best to reset his head, right? And now he's about to get it to the other side, and I'm going, damn, if he gets this head to the other side, I can't do the move that we're going to do after this one, right? So before I let him, he's fighting and fighting and fighting. I switch, ooh, you okay, kiddo? Yeah. Right? He resets his head. Perfect. I switch my grip, reset your head. And now he's like this. So I was to reset my grip already. I switch my grip pattern, and now you gave me the head where I wanted it, right? So now go right back in. We're underneath again. As I dump, we said we're going to go to the same side. So this time when I dump, I'm not going to have the rear tricep anymore. I don't have it now. So when we come over and we land at this point, I'm here. I don't have anything. I need my hand the other way, right? So when I landed at this point, this is my first butterfly because I got to reposition to take this hand out, but I don't want to lose dominant spot. So when you land at this point, I don't have that. My hand's like this. I would have loved this because then I can attack this, but now my hand's like this. So I butterfly to the same side to keep this wedge point in here so he doesn't leave me, so I can take this hand out. I can also grip this elbow. And now I can come back into attacking the elbow lines and going into all the patterns that we know already, okay? So the only thing different is same pattern, right? But now I'm losing the head. I'm going, oh, no, 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 no. Before this happens, let me switch my grip below, right? So we were here. Everything was exactly the same. I shot this long, and here I am. Come, I pulled, and he's fighting to put this head back, so I switched my grip, right? I just switched. Some of the guys can't see here. I was here, right? Only thing that happened now is I realized, oh shit, this head's starting to come this way. So I drop my grip and I go the other way. And now I'm here, but you reset your head. And I get it. Yeah, no, but you gave me the arm, and now you got no arm, right? So now I can take you this way. So the same thing. I can either come here, I can grip underneath, but I'm here. I'm not letting go of you. I've gotten this arm isolated where it's not a stability point for you anymore, and I slide myself underneath. And now when we dump over, we're like this. I don't have anything. Look where my hand is. So I butterfly this leg to the same side, and now I can release this. Before you release this hand, because we're entangled together right now, okay? So I butterfly and I keep the position. This hand should have two positions. This blade should be tight on the belly. That butterfly should be wedged at the hip line. So I'm stopping the rotation. I don't mind if you go that way. That'd be great, because then you give me your back again. So I'm worried about you coming up too quick. So my first butterfly is here, my hand's stuck. Before you go anywhere, there's two options at this point. I need this elbow because I want this out, but I don't want you to go anywhere. So I don't want the retraction of this elbow to get behind the lat. Otherwise, you're going to finish off your turn. Okay, so I'm like this. I can also grab the head and now start driving the skull back this way. I prefer the elbow because I can flip my grips on the elbow to attack the neck, the kimuras. I can go so many different ways if I can get the elbow, and you can get the elbow. And if you can't get the elbow, the hand's here. So I can always lift this hand up and drop this guy into capture, and now go into all different, I know the pattern. Let me go turn it this way, right, so people could see, right? So when I first came over on the butterfly, my hand was like this. And now I butterfly this over, and I'm like this. So this hand grips onto this elbow because I don't want you going anywhere. And I want to take my hand out. This is how we landed. This hand doesn't serve a purpose right now. You can tell me you're going Darson, and I get it. Maybe you can. I don't believe you can. The position on your lines between this, I got to do so many alterations on this to get to my Dars, where I got to go deep and I got to release it. I got to think at this point, unless I told him, yo, dude, can you stay still for like 2 seconds? Otherwise, like, this isn't realistic. There's going to be too many things that happen in the bells and whistles. The shit's going to go wrong, right? So you can do it. I'm not saying you can't. If he knows nothing, I can grip him and go. I get it. You can. He's a high-level player. He's going to push me away. So I want to be able to grip either here or here, and now I can go back to the headline, or I could just grip, take my hand out, and I'll start fighting for position, or I could just start dropping into so many other sequences. Your call on it. I'm not going to go that deep on the submissions because I've gone through all kinds of patterns on that. So let's add that one. Let's do everything on his back. That is not realistic in competition set, unless he's a real beginner. If this man is fighting dear life not to get reversed, and I know I would be, if I'm competing, the last thing I want to do is give up points, man. I'll do anything I can. I'll try to bite you if I could, so not to get reversed. I come like this, and now I come in here, and I'm like this, and I'm telling you to reset this, and you switched your hand grips, and now you're dumping over. It's not realistic that we're like this, and Nathan's just gonna plop over and we're like this. I'm trying my best. This man's fighting like tooth and nail. That's why we end up going the other way. I was like this, I went like this, I went like this, and I'm trying, he's fighting like crazy. I'm going, as we dump over, I want to be coming up, and now I'm like this. And that's why we end up coming this way. Not gonna end up on the other side. And now we're with this hand here, okay? Let's turn this way, all right? This could play out many ways. So there's something within this that you could always take. When we landed just now, it was like this, right? I'm gonna take this hand, right, and lift it, because he can't go anywhere either. He can lay back down, but he's got a problem mechanically coming towards me. It's only because I'm like here with this wedge at this hip, my knees up here, and my hands entangled with my body line in front. There's an issue with him coming this way. And if I remotely grab this, every 4 points of his recovery are done, right? He had to retract this elbow behind here. He had to finish off the shoulder rotation. My body's here. He wanted to turn the hip. My knee line's here. He wanted to continue this rotation of the hip. My instep is stopping this. There's 4 points of contact. Unless he's overwhelmingly so powerful, I can hold a much bigger man down, right? I've taken all 4 positions on him mechanically, okay? You're like this with this hand stuck, right? And I just told you, you just took control of all 4 things. How about we take this hand and grip this? And now what happens is, I have an issue. Maybe you could go Darce, but the one thing that's totally unguarded right now is that neck, okay? And I have this hand. So before I told you, all 4 points were covered. The best that I could. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like this. But I want to be able to use this hand to attack that neck. So I lift this elbow and I grab this guy here. And now that neck is open. So as I go reaching for this neck, I'm going to relinquish this position and backstep this. So I'm here, I go super slow. I start lacing as I backstep, and now I caught this chin. Now I don't need this hand on this side. So this trailing hand comes with me to grab onto my elbow. He has a choice now. He can continue coming up to turtle, right? But now he's totally done with a high elbow on this, right? And if he doesn't come up to turtle, I've connected my hands. So as I backstep and connect my hands, I drive forward because I'm going to take this back leg and step it over the top and collect this hand like this. And now as I sit back, he can't even, his defense at this point was to put this hand over my neck and drive this into my shoulder as he came up. And I'm like, and I got to let go of it. So I killed it. When I came back, I covered the top hand. So he had a choice. If he came up, I took the high elbow, so then he couldn't do his defense because I came in front of the shoulder line. So when he does it, his defense right now, I don't get too crazy with the defense, but his defense was to go over the top of my shoulder and drive this in. But he had a choice. If he comes to turtle, then I switch it to a high elbow. But I don't need a high elbow because I went back to him in this sequence. He didn't come up to turtle, so I didn't have to go high elbow. So now when I come back, my top leg covers this arm. So now when he comes up, the defense he had earlier, I killed it, right? So now when we dump him over, how about we add a submission? So everything was exactly the same. You dumped him over, and when I landed, I was like this. And then I'm understanding his mechanics. He wants to come, but I've taken all 4 away. I'm here at this wedge. That's why I told you. I'm here, and my body line is low, blocking this position. Before I told you about when we did that move earlier, I was taking full control of this back. Now I'm in front. I'm like this. My hand's stuck. And I'm here pulling out this arm so that you can't get up. I'm also pushing off this back leg. You have a problem because I'm driving in so you can't. I don't mind you going back to your back. You want to go back to your back? Then we'll deal with you a different way. What's the worst case scenario? Now I'm like this, going back into attacking. Or you make such a rotation that you want to give me, okay, now you're going to give me your back? Like, that's awful, right? So you're not going to do that. So unless you really don't know what you're doing, because then it's like all south on you. You just started. So now I took control, and now I want to be able to use this hand to reattack. So I look for the elbow line. So I had all 4 positions at this point with my body like this. My leg is driving off here, so I'm lifting this elbow, and I caught this elbow. Now the one thing, you got an issue is your hands are down here. That neck is exposed with a free hand, so I'm going to take it. So as I start lacing, this knee's going to drop and this one's going to backstep so that I get a full lace on this neck. So as I'm dropping this knee, I'm backstepping and lacing deep. Now I've caught this chin strap totally. If Ethan were to come up, I'm switching high elbow and my hands are coming high and I'm taking full control of this, right? Come back. You okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, kiddo. I'm like this now. I've taken full control and I've gotten my hands together at that neckline. Only thing different now is this back leg is going to push forward, and as I'm pushing forward, this back leg is going to jump over and take this recovery arm out of the way because you didn't come to turtle. So this is the one we're doing. Be gentle on your partner's neck. This back leg is going to jump over and take in full control, and now I'm at your neckline with a full arch. So I have a great chance to kill your windpipe. Okay, it's a little bit different than a blood choke because blood choke's a little bit different where the arteries are sitting. So I'm curling up into the windpipe to kill it. Let's part of them do it.